Salam, man la Youssou Ndour saa ma ñëwee Gambia Africell laay jëfandikoo mooy jokkoo bi nga xam ne moom laay am ak nit ñi te li ci gën a neexati moom mooy 4G bi dafa ñëw day tax mu gën a gaaw fépp kon nag da ngeen use Africell 4G bi gaaw na lool xoolal.
yow daal bu leen toppatoo doxal sa doom nit dina xëy rek benn gis nañ ko fii te boo ko laajoon du la wax lu waral lii fu mu toog dégg sa tur di bëgg dee bako yàlla ngi janoog moom.
nga xam nga léegi internet bi da ngay soxla warul yéex. waaw warul yéex. dafa war a speed. gaaw ji la indi comme bi àdduna bi yëpp am loolu moo am solo moo tax Gambie bi ci kaw. Thank you very much. This is for you.
Yes, my name is Ousainou Mbenga. I was born in the Gambia. I lived in the US for many years. And during those years, I've been very active in activism and politics. And years later, we formed the Democratic Union of Gambian Activists, known as DUGA. Significant role in ousting of Jammeh out of this beloved country of us, Gambia. I'm a professional medical technologist or clinical laboratory scientist by training, but I believe that my profession is activism and revolutionary activity. So I was born in Banjul too, and grew up in Banjul. I went to Armitage School, and years after I went to the US. And but even though I left, my heart and my soul has always been Gambian, and it will remain Gambian and African forever. I was the first chairperson of DUGA, the chairman, and we formed DUGA because of several reasons. We were living in the most tyrannical government that Africa has ever known under Yahya Jammeh, and there was nothing under the skies that we haven't done to bring Jammeh to his senses, to put a stop to senseless arrests, disappearances, and the murder of our beloved sons and daughters of the Gambia. And not only that, and the mayhem that he was causing in Casamas by supporting these, reactionary rebels. So decided the only way we could really impact on changes in the Gambia here was to come up with a political organization or activist organization. So DUGA came as a consequence of assassinated or murdered death row inmates. And from that day on, we just said that that's it. We have to be very confrontational against Jammeh in order to bring changes, like in this country. So DUGA came into being, and the rest is history. Well, we did a lot of things since we were formed in 2013. The rate and amount of protests that we did in the United States increased, and we also tried to get, we had branches and supporters, in Sweden and other European countries. So when we started, it was mainly just protesting. When Jammeh ever came to the country, into the US, we were always out there protesting. And when anything happens to any Gambian, for that matter, we also wage protests, in the US. But one of the most significant protests that we did, and that was the most, I think, most confrontational, was when we occupied the embassy in Washington, D.C. in 2014, I believe, yes. We went in there, Coach Pasamba Jao Sona Sala, who is currently the chairperson of DUGA, and myself, we went and occupied, the embassy and refused to leave. We went in there, with all our members, but we had already pre-planned that when the police come, everybody else will leave and the three of us will stay. So they gave us 3 warnings, and after the third warning, they said, "You are under arrest." He said, we were glad to do that. So here we were handcuffed and taken out. So we spent the night in jail. Not anything like the people who were here in Mile 2 and these gulag that Jammeh called his hotel. So, but we were very proud that, we spent the night in jail. And from that point on, we never looked back. So that was the most significant confrontational event that we had with Jammeh. But the activism and the protests, continued until 2016, and when we got him out of there. Yes, because the fight for freedom and liberation for our beloved Gambia, it's important that we do it outside, but it is most important for it to happen here. So we thought that it was ideal and necessary for us to make our presence felt, in the country here. So after many years of discussing it, and finally, we decided that when Jammeh left, this was the appropriate time to come here and introduce DUGA to the Gambian population. And we have an office, on Independence Drive. And the launching was done, at the beginning of this year in January. So most of our forces came in. But unfortunately, I couldn't come, but the office has been open, and then we invited a lot of people, the press, some of the ministers, and Batarawale was there, and the vice president. So it is because of the significance of continuing where we had left off. Now Jammeh is gone, and everybody is talking about the new Gambia, and then we wanted to take part in this process of building a genuine new Gambia. We have some problems, with what is called the new Gambia right now. We had some high hopes. This country, because we know Gambia still has potential, inside and outside, because her sons and daughters in here and outside were willing and are still willing to really formulate programs and build institutions which Jammeh killed completely, because without institutions, that's why he stayed here that long. So our efforts to make our presence felt, in the country here is as a consequence of building new institutions and making sure that these structures are well entrenched, and that we will never have a Jammeh here again on this beloved country of us, and also participate to the best of our ability to grow and establish a very formidable youth society in here, and of course, and women, because we believe that without women, we can just forget about this struggle. Well, to a certain extent, those are rumors so far. I was the deputy secretary of DUGA, Ndam, when we formed it in the 2006. Unfortunately, it never took off the ground because of a lot of contradictions. But the way I see it, there has to, you cannot get into a fight and not ask to what end. I am not a politician. I'm involved in politics. I like to call myself a revolutionary politician, because I want to change and get involved in the process of politics, but not politics as usual. So we have to revolutionize how politics is and make the people aware of their power, and that if we put people in office, whoever we put in the office should be afraid of us, rather than the other way around, than the people being afraid of them. So these are when I say revolutionary policies, that's what I mean. Change, fundamental, concrete change from the politics as usual. Yes, we are thinking of forming an alternative to what is happening right now, because there's been a lot of disappointment. If I don't say it, I'm not being honest. Anybody who doesn't complain or ask questions or make criticism of what is going on on this comment right now, I have some problems with that. So yes, we are thinking of coming up with an alternative to what is happening right now. It hasn't, it's manifesting, but it hasn't come to fruition yet. And I think it's very important that people know about that and be aware of the significance, of course, of DUGA, because not everybody in DUGA is interested in that. But I always ask the question, to what end? We cannot just keep on fighting and then put these things in the hands of people who don't make progress for the whole country. You know, so that's what I want to say about that right now. But and if the people decide to, you know, approach me and task me with that, I wouldn't mind. There has to be some fundamental changes in this country because I have not seen it yet, and the way politics has been going on in the country, I think we really need an alternative. I want to leave this message with with Gambians and not particularly Gambians, or I should say Senegambians and Africans, because our problem is common. It's not only limited to Gambia, you know, right across the waters here in Senegal, you know, we have some serious problems. First, I want to just dismiss this nonsense about ethnic affiliations, because tribalism is not going to do us any good. It has never done us any good here in Senegal or all over the African continent. So my message to the Gambian people is that, you know, like, this is one Gambia, one people. We are not going to allow, you know, like ethnic manipulations or religious manipulations, you know, to really bring us back to the swamp that Yahya Jammeh has thrown us in. And we were knee deep in that swamp. We came out after 22 years of vicious struggle. And whatever is presented here right now as the representative of the people, we have some serious problems with that. But the Gambian people should come to the realization that power belongs to us. It has to be in our hands. You know, we put them in there, and they are our employees, from Barrow all the way down. So we cannot just sit down and accept some of the stuff that is going on around with total disregard for genuine development, you know, like in this country. I mean, there is nothing new to me here right now, you know. So that's the message I have for Gambians, that, you know, we have to stand up, you know, and be counted, and understand that the vast majority of us are determined that, you know, we will never go back, or there is never going to be another Jammeh in this country, you know, or for that matter, you know, like any political party that thinks that, you know, like they own this country. This country belongs to all Gambians across the spectrum, young, old, women, youth, you know, all of us. It belongs to us. So it is on us now to come up, you know, with tangible programs and practical things that we can do, and call on all of our sons and daughters from outside and inside, and build this country the way we want it.
Hi, I'm Ami Jain, and I'm in Bakoto right now. I always choose AfriCell's 4G network because it has the widest coverage and the fastest speeds. Let me show you why I always choose AfriCell's 4G. I have two phones. One with the 4G SIM card from AfriCell with the 4G network. The other 4G SIM card from another network. Let's do a speed test and see the difference. Wow, I'm getting full coverage from AfriCell with speeds of 69.68 megabytes per second. The other network, 3.35 megabytes. This is just proof that AfriCell has the widest coverage and the fastest speed. By far the fastest.
Hurry now and go replace your AfriCell SIM cards with the real 4G SIM card.
Where AfriCell goes, no one has the speed to follow.